Hello Guardians, it is Ebontis, and in this one we are going to cover Aphelion's Rest, the Master Lost Sector. Depending on when you find this one, the exotic may be different than today, so just check what the exotic is dropping. Champions are going to be Overload and Unstoppable, not really too bad. The burn is Stasis. There's not a lot of Stasis options, but we're getting more as we go. And then also we've got shields that are Void. You also have Attrition in here, so you got to be a little careful on Master. Your health is not going to be coming up that frequently. So for loadout, Void Shields. You're going to have a decent amount of them, and you're going to have Overload Hobgoblins. So Overload and a bow, and Void for your shields for range is going to pair together fairly well. There's not a ton of Void Shields per se, not like, 50 shields of one type of thing. It's really minimal, but it's just, they're all Hobgoblins, so you need to hit them from far away. So this is kind of two birds with one stone. Make sure you throw a major spec on that one, you're good to go. Everything else is not shielded, so however you want to kill it, you can. We do need Unstoppable, so I'm going Fusions, I'm going Linear Fusion, and I'm going Reed's Regret. Now, if you haven't jumped into Trials yet, that is totally fine, but also, you can eventually just unlock this thing by playing rounds of Trials and getting your reputation up. So you at least need one of these Reed's Regret. May not be the perfect roll, but a single Reed's Regret is going to benefit you for probably the better chunk of the season, and Linear Fusions tend to be balanced. But Stasis weapons aren't that often, so you may need to make sure you get one. Now, we recently just got access to this guy. Now, just because I've probably done this video previously, I'm going to use a bit of a newer loadout, so I'm going to use this IS Luna. It's got Headstone on it, so I actually got pretty lucky. But just so you guys can see the benefits of actually having now Stasis weapons in our arsenal, because not a whole lot of things have Stasis burn, but this one actually does, so I'm going to use it. But that's mostly it. You have some Void Shields, your burn is Stasis, you want to take advantage of that as much as you can, and other than that, let's show you how it's done. Alright, so when you load in, you're going to have a group of Thrall sitting out here taking Thrall waiting for you. So your goal is to basically clear those out nice and early. So if you can get a Stasis Grenade in there, kind of get them all frozen up. Depending on if you can get a couple of them frozen, you might have a few stragglers. But your goal is to hit the ones that are nice and frozen to get them to shatter and kill each other. And again, don't let them get too far on top of you. Now I'm running Diamond Lance to actually have a little fun with Stasis, so I may as well enjoy it. And Stasis works in here. Stasis will get some nice explosions, put some work in. Pick up a Diamond Lance. I'm just using my Titan, but again, this is like just a random Stasis loadout. But honestly, I finished this whole thing, and I did it with, trying to remember the exotic. I was goofing around just because to get the Catalyst. I used Leviathan's Breath, and I still finished this thing. So I know you guys can definitely get this one done. Trust me. It's not that bad. This is just a more fun way to do it. Again, once he starts charging you, get your stun on. Any linear fusion rifle is going to do and still get you a good chunk of damage. All I can say is the burn is just going to add a noticeable bit more damage to it. That's all. Right now, just clearing out these ads, trying to stay safe here. Use the shatter when you can. Again, you don't have to have Headstone on here. I know this is not an optimal. Just sit here and pick off these guys from far away, and you're going to be doing all right. I'll show you the more important parts, and honestly, the Stasis stuff that I've got is not really going to make a difference on the slower sections. I'm trying to clear these last few Thrall that we've got, and we got our first Void Shield. This is going to be our Taken Acolyte over here. Most of them are Hobgoblins. We got a few Acolytes, though, that are going to be taken. And you've got a few Thrall that you want to get before they start kind of charging up on you. That sound of all the enemies incoming is mostly going to be a lot of the champions up top. And then you're also going to start to see the Hobgoblins are throwing freeze at you. But we've got an Unstoppable champion. And if it does ever jump off that cliff, it's going to get a little interesting. Now, this is why you want something that explodes or potentially a grenade that will kind of freeze a lot of those guys. It doesn't have the suction factor anymore, but if you can get a few of them frozen and then get them to shatter, still a nice way to kill them with just that frozen grenade. Killing them in groups kind of gets them to stop being really, really annoying. They're already annoying. They're just a little less this way. And that's the thing with Thrall is you want to kill them quickly before they spawn because they can really almost infinitely spawn. As soon as you like target them, they're going to like split again. Gets quite annoying. Alright. That should be most of them. Up top, you're going to have two champions. Looks like I can see one, so I'm going to start the process on him. And honestly, the safest thing to do, because you're going to be putting a lot of work in on these guys, is to get consistent shots with your bow. Now, if you get him to about here, and you think you can kill him with your... If you got a Stasis linear fusion rifle and you can get enough damage in, go for a kill. That's totally fine. But there's another one. And you got to make sure you can hit him before you go for him. If you get that one and the Stasis, the Unstoppable Champion hasn't chased you yet, that's fine. Just go for that one. But if the Unstoppable Champion comes around that corner, now's the time to get ready for him. Back around the rock. Get loaded up. 1, 2, 3, and you can even finish him now. Save a little bit of ammo. Now, him being frozen isn't really doing anything. At this point, this is all I mean. You can kill these guys with just a bow. Patience is a virtue on these guys. And the biggest thing is just keep them in your line of sight. If they go out of it, peek over here, and make sure you keep that line of sight on them. Back to the wall. Should still be able to give you an angle. And if you're over here and you're safe and not being killed, this is why I kind of wait on this guy till later. You should be able to take them out from here. That's all. There you go. Slow and tedious, but it works. Same principle is going to apply here. I'm just going to throw that little grenade over there, see if I can get a few of these guys frozen. And then when they're frozen, when they shatter, they're actually going to tend to kill each other in groups, and that's going to actually stop them, which is important, from multiplying, which you really, really just don't want them to do. Up here, you're going to have a few more. So again, using the Stasis as a way to shatter is actually beneficial. I know you're not always going to have the... You're not going to have the Ios Luna. You're not going to have Diamond Lance. That's not the whole point. I'm just showing you guys an option. But this is one of the reasons why you should run trials, and one of the reasons why it is good to have one of these linear fusion rifles. Because if we're just getting Stasis now, I assume they're probably just going to keep putting it in the game. Now, these two that sit up top are going to be on the annoying side, I promise you. These are the ones where if you've got the linear fusion rifle and you go for the kill, I would advise it like that if you can. If not, I would advise clearing most of the lower ads first. Try and find any of the regular acolytes. These guys have void shields, hence why the explosion does a little more. Kind of shimmy back and forth. Now's a good time if any ammo dropped actually as well to try and grab it. Just because that heavy ammo is going to be beneficial when the boss pops out. And again, take out all these acolytes. If you take out one of the champions and then the acolytes, you're going to get everything else to spawn. So if you get a chance where you can go after the champion by himself and leave one of the other guys up and not get killed by it, go for it. If you can't, it's not a big deal. It's just one of those things to do if you can, but honestly, there's sometimes it's just not really an option. Now, if I really want to get aggressive on this guy, and I know I've got one more hobgoblin up over there, I'm going to try and use this rock for cover. Try and block behind it. Any of the freezing shots should hit it. Also, this close, I should have a decent angle on the hobgoblin the whole time. Shouldn't be able to really hide from me. And honestly, up here, if this is all you're really facing, though, I'm going to get frozen. Not good. But if you really start to hit these overload champions and you can get some shots on them, it's worth killing them before everything else comes out. See, as I've got one enemy left, now I can kill him, and the rest of it's going to show up. Now, if you can get a grenade up there before all the fire starts flying, get a few, frozen kills, might actually be fun. Other than that, time to back off. You're going to have an unstoppable champion coming at you. Could be moseying his way around the corner. Might take a minute since I'm apparently on fire. Champion is coming. Oh, nope, Thrall first. We do have an unstoppable champion that will be want to be our friend here very soon, though, so be wary of that. Here he is. Come here. There we go. And again, it may take you a few more linear fusion shots if you're working with something like, a non-stasis fusion rifle, but that is okay. The whole point is patience and using this area to retreat as far back as you need to run. You tend to have places to retreat on this one on Master, so it's really not too bad to finish. Not really much else left besides, I think, the boss. I'm just going to go for the bigger damage with the linear if I can get a line on him that is not pretty much ruined. There we go. Looks like I've got a hobgoblin back here that I do want to take out. Oh, no, those are just sniper acolytes. We'll jump shot there. There we go. Now it should just be the boss. Got those couple acolytes down. Hello. And deleted. Everything else that's going to pop out is actually pretty easy to kill, so if you want to pop your super, now's a good time. If you want to throw a grenade to catch them all kind of when they land, also a fun way to shatter a bunch of guys. But again, watch out for the acolytes. They will try and freeze you. So if you are worried about going flawless, but you do want to open that chest, just back up. Be cautious. And again, even though the boss is dead, probably more based on health than anything, but trying to get a few of these little ad kills for those attrition shots. And then it looks like we've got a few more hobgoblins. When their shields hit each other, that nice chain explosion is beneficial. They are very cautious about showing their face, though. Last one. And that's a wrap. This one's a little longer, about 10 minutes. It's not one that you're going to really farm solo by yourself, but we did get a drop, so that shows you guys we got platinum rewards, even though it didn't pop on screen. So that's all your champions with regards to this last sector. Let's get back to the top and we'll wrap it up. That pretty much wraps it up. The burn is stasis, so if you have stasis weapons, it is going to be beneficial. We even have a stasis sword now. Not something I would really advise using on something with attrition on master difficulty. So again, spend a little time in trials. If you want to get Reed's Regret, this can be beneficial to you, even when it comes back in rotation, but you probably should have one of those. But either way, something with Unstoppable, something with Overload. Your only shields are void, but there's a decent amount of them kind of in the end. They're those far-ranged acolytes. And the burn is stasis, so try and use it as much as you can. So if you guys did enjoy this video, please drop a like below. Leave a comment if there's a build that you enjoy using so everybody else can see that one. If you want to find me on Twitter, it is at Ebontis. On Twitch, it's Ebontis. And right here on YouTube, if you haven't subbed yet, please hit that sub button and that alert bell to help my videos get to you and also help support me. If you want to support me directly, you can join the channel as a member after you sub or find my Patreon in the link down below. Have a great one, and I will see you soon.